Good evening, everyone. Kind of like this mic. My name is Chris Witherell. I am the middle school band director here at Marshall. And as we get set up with the 5th grade band, a few housekeeping things. Obviously, this is not our normal performance space, so some of our normal rules don't necessarily apply. If you would like to take a photo, I would love nothing more. However, if you could not use the flash, we don't want to distract our performers. We've been working really, really hard on this music for you, and we don't want anything to distract from their focus. If you did not get a program, they're located on stands to the left or right in the lower section. They will be available all the way through. In front of you is the 5th grade band. We rehearse every day for 30 minutes, right after recess, so they're high energy. Our first piece for you tonight is entitled First Classic Suite. It is 3 kind of movements of famous classical pieces, so there will be starting and stopping in between. If you could hold your applause till the very end, that would be greatly appreciated. This is First Classic Suite. Our second piece is entitled Starburst Fanfare. Now, I must admit, it was very hard to tell them that, no, we don't get to eat Starburst while we play. That broke some hearts, but I think we'll be okay. It's a fun, fast-paced song. It actually only uses the first 5 notes of the B-flat scale, which are some of the first 5 notes that we've learned. So it's kind of cool that we can make entire band songs with just the first 5 notes. This is Starburst Fanfare. for this evening is entitled Popcorn Prelude. Now, this is one of, if not my favorite 5th grade band song in the history of ever. I'm not going to ruin why. I think most of us in the room can figure out why it's called Popcorn Prelude once we start. So this is Popcorn Prelude. At the completion of this piece, I ask that you stay and watch our 7th grade band who will be transitioning after we're done. At this time, I'd like to invite the 7th grade band on down, go that way. Alrighty. On stage, or gym floor rather, is the 7th grade band. Now, as I mentioned in the fall, the awesome part about 7th grade is the students who are in orchestra who normally meet every other day. It works with our schedule that we actually get to meet every single day, which provides us with a lot of growth, which is really, really an incredible kind of process to see. Our first piece for you is entitled Carpathia. Carpathia was the ship that went to rescue survivors of the Titanic. So there are kind of sound effects throughout the piece that portray some of that. This is Carpathia. second piece of the evening is entitled Lullaby, a waltz for band. It's a percussion, mallet-heavy piece. They have a lot of notes. Kind of lulls you to sleep, so if you do feel like nodding off, that's okay. It is a lullaby, and we'll wake you up with our third tune. This is Lullaby. piece for you, I would just like to thank you very much for coming out this evening and supporting Marshall Music. Without you and your support for your kids in this activity, I don't know what I would do. You guys are the best. You guys. So, our final piece is entitled The North Face. It's not branded by the company, it just happens to be the same. It's kind of a portrait of a mountain. So, as we're playing through our final piece, think of a mountain scene or your favorite ski slope if that's something you're inclined to do. Thank you very much for coming. This is The North Face. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight. Have a safe drive home. Hello! Thank you very much for joining us this evening. I understand it's our winter concert, but it's more of a springish concert, I suppose. Please excuse the snowflake on the program. In front of you is the 6th grade band, but before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items. Now, normally we are in the theater, so I suppose some of our normal rules don't necessarily apply. However, for me, the biggest one is flash photography. I would love to get some pictures that you take. However, flash photography can be distracting to the performers, and we want to make sure that they are focused in making the music as possible. So if we could turn the flashes off, I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, any small children that need to leave, just please do so discreetly if possible. Other than that, we'll get started. Our first piece is Liturgical Fanfare. It's a kind of a fast-paced piece. Our second and final piece for you from the 6th grade band is entitled Comet Ride. This one has several dynamic changes where we have kind of a softer moment, and then there's some high energy moments. We also have a direct tempo change where we go from slow to immediately fast. This is something that we work on a consistent basis. So this is Comet Ride. this time, we will transition to our 8th grade band. All right. On stage, or string floor, I guess, we have our 8th grade band. These are the oldest kids in our school. They are some very fine musicians that I have the privilege of working with every single day. Our first piece for you this evening is Planets. Gustav Holst, very famous orchestral music transcribed for concert band. There are 3 movements, so if you could please hold your applause until the very end, that would be great.
Our next piece is entitled Tricycle. This is a very unique piece that it goes mostly in 5/4, so there's 5 beats per measure, which most music that we play is in 4, but so adding that that one extra beat can sometimes be tricky, but they handle it very well. This piece was actually brought to me by our high school director in the district, Wayne Ivers. He found it in the library and thought, I'd give it a try, so this is Tricycle. while we transition to our final piece, I would just like to thank you very, very much for supporting Music in Marshall. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do for a living, so thank you very much. At the conclusion of this piece, the eighth graders have a task to bring the stand back to the band room, as well as put the chairs back on the rack. The racks are behind the show right there. If any of you would be willing to help kind of facilitate some of that, I would greatly appreciate it. Percussionists have also been asked to help move some of this back to the band room. So if you are a parent of percussionists, please be patient as I have asked them to help me out. So our final piece is Sphere of Fire. Really fun piece, really fast paced, kind of a lot of action in this one. So again, thank you very much for coming. This is Sphere of Fire. for coming. Please drive safe. Have a wonderful evening.